Okay, I'm back, guys, and yeah, the reason why I didn't do the game against Edmonton the other night is because my computer was having problems uploading the videos and stuff like that. We had a technician come in today and he fixed everything, so now everything should be good. And now I can talk about this crazy game that happened last night between Ottawa and Toronto. Lineup notes quickly in this one, everything stays the same. Forsberg gets the start again for Ottawa, Jack Campbell gets the start for Toronto, and it's game on here. And it would be game on, all right, especially for the Toronto Maple Leafs and for a particular player of theirs. Austin Matthews scores his 29th of the season. That one was assisted by Mitch Marner. This guy, he just lights the Sens on fire. Like, man, oh man, it's unbelievable. Like, what is he at now? Like 22 goals in 22 games played all time against them or something like that. So it's just crazy. He would score there and he wouldn't be done. On the same exact shift, again, he victimizes the Brady Tkachuk group, once again scoring his 30th of the year in short order, just 39 seconds later, and all of a sudden it's 2-0 Toronto, it's 2-0 Austin Matthews, and the Ottawa Senators are down 2-0 because of this guy. On the first Austin Matthews goal, Brady Tkachuk, this guy, I mean, he was coming back on the back check, but he was coming back rather casually, and I really didn't like to see that at all. You can't give a guy like Austin Matthews any time or space. I know he was a little ways out from the net, but with the way he shoots the puck, if he's inside the blue line, he can beat a goalie from anywhere in that radius. And Tkachuk just totally took it for granted, and he looked pretty casual on that back check to me. That's not good. Second Matthews goal, they just really got spread apart in their own zone, and Marner found Matthews and bang, it's in the back of the net. Those two are really dynamic together, and the Sens are really struggling at this point. And then Ottawa would be playing better in that second period. I thought the first period, they started out okay, but when Toronto got those goals, it just went to the Leafs' legs, and the Sens were really hanging on. Forsberg had to make some big stops to keep it from getting any worse than 2-0. Fortunately, he did. And those big stops would eventually set the stage later on in the second period for a Drake Batherson goal. He gets it to Stützle out front. He hits the post. Batherson there to clean up the garbage as he forks a backhander right into the net, into the open net, past Jack Campbell. The Sens have some life. It's now 2-1 for the Leafs. Shortly after that, Ottawa takes a penalty, and it's like, okay, you don't want to put the Leafs' dangerous power play. I know they've been struggling to score, but you want to put their dangerous power play to work here. But what happens? Well, the Leafs power play would continue to struggle, and not only would the Leafs not score on it, but they would surrender a shorthanded goal to Alex Formenton. That one was unassisted. He steals the puck off Riley at the blue line, off Morgan Riley. Of course, not Mike Riley, but he steals it off Morgan Riley at the blue line. Riley thought he was going to do something cool and get around Formenton. Formenton, great stick, showcases his absolute tremendous speed. They clocked him at 37 kilometers an hour, which is crazy fast. I mean, if I was Formenton, I'd actually be kind of afraid to be going that fast on skates, but it's probably because I'm not a very strong stopper when it comes to making a good hockey stop out there on the ice. But Formenton is, fortunately. He beats Jack Campbell, game tied up at 2 all of a sudden. And the Sens wouldn't stop there. DJ Smith throws the Tim Stützle, Drake Batherson, and Mike Amadio group out onto the ice for an offensive zone face-off against the Austin Matthews group. Amadio wins the draw cleanly. Stützle grabs it, risks a beautiful wrist shot up over top of the glove of Jack Campbell. It's 3-2 Ottawa. Stützle finally gets on the board. So nice to see this guy get a goal. He really deserves it. He just seems like such a great, fun-loving type of guy, and I'm so happy to see him score there, and hopefully this will be a great thing for him going forward, as hopefully now the dam will break, or the dam has broken hopefully, and he'll just get a whole boatload of goals here going forward the rest of the season. But what's it like being a Sens fan the last 4 years? Well, good things seem to be few and far in between, and when they do happen, they seem to be very short-lived, and that would be the case here, as Mitch Marner on a huge scramble in front of the net would score. This is by Galchenyuk and Austin Matthews. Like, you got to clean Marner out in front of the net there, and like I've said before, the Sens, with their big physical style of play, they're physical when they don't really need to be, but then when they do need to be physical, when it's very practical to be physical, they just refuse to box guys out in front of the net, and they let teams get second and third whacks. They really got victimized in front of their net in this game, and it's just, it goes to show you that they got to clean that up somehow. Mitch Marner scores, big celebration. He's like, yeah! Yes, we scored on the second worst team in the league. We tied it up against them. Hooray for me! Yes, my team's so freaking overrated. Woo! And it's 3-3, and yeah, I mean, Marner just, wow, you would have thought the Leafs won the Stanley Cup there. I mean, beating Ottawa probably is like their Stanley Cup for them, who knows? And then Austin Matthews comes in, completes the hat trick, he scores. You know, that was assisted by Marner and Galchenyuk, by the way. But you know, the Sens, Connor Brown, he's kind of got Matthews there. I saw in the replay of the goal, he's got Matthews. Then he loses Matthews. You got to stay with that darn guy, especially, you know, when you're Ottawa, because he just lights your team up so much. He grabs the puck, he scores. He's going to score from there. And again, it's kind of in that middle of the ice, mid to low slot area, which the Sens seem to give up a lot of high danger chances and a lot of their goals against in. And it's 4-3 Leafs, and it went from being, you know, a great comeback for the Sens to, you know, buried. They were looking like they were going to get buried. 2-0 there early on, and they score 3 goals, 3 unanswered to get ahead, then they give up 2 quick ones, and they're going into the second intermission down 4-3. 4:44 into that third period, the Sens would dig themselves an even deeper hole as Ilya Mikheyev would score his 6th of the season, assisted by Zach Hyman. And the Leafs are up 5-3. Things are just not looking good. And yeah, I mean, again, it's a play where, I don't know, I would have liked to see Forsberg maybe have it, but I don't know. Mikheyev turns, he fires, it's posted in. I don't know, it's kind of tough to blame Forsberg on that as well. But the Sens show lots of heart and they never go away, and that would be the case in this game as well. Why would this one be any different? It's a Battle of Ontario. You don't want your rivals to step all over you, especially. And Connor Brown would score, get the record for himself for the most consecutive games with a goal in Sens history. That's now 7 straight for Connor Brown. I mean, not that Brown's a bad player and he can't score, but you wouldn't really suspect him to do it, as he's not maybe one of the Sens' most marquee players, especially now with all the young guys being the big talk of the town, so to speak. But yes, Connor Brown gets it, his 13th of the season, assisted by Dadonov and Tierney. Dadonov came in, he was trying to wrap it, I think. I don't know if he necessarily meant that pass for Connor Brown. He was trying to wrap it, and it comes out to Connor Brown. He fires it home. Brown's super pumped up about that goal. You could hear him celebrating out there on the ice, and I couldn't be any more happy for him. Then the Sens would pull the goalie with just under 2 to go. Zach Hyman seemingly puts the game away into the empty net. He scores, 14th of the season, assisted by Tavares and Mikheyev. It's looking like it's game over, but then on the ensuing faceoff, Joe Thornton decides to go and trip up Nick Paul. I guess the old legs couldn't keep up in that situation. The Sens pull the goalie once again, make it a 6-on-4. Josh Norris scores, gets the Sens back within 1 with about 17 seconds to go. Yes, it was 17 seconds, and Drake Batherson would pick up the assist. Nice little backhand pass by Batherson. Drake Batherson's a very underrated passer in my opinion, and I don't think he'll ever pass the puck as well as Tim Stützle. But he is an underrated passer, and he made a pretty sweet pass on that play. Norris buries it. Josh Norris now 3 goals in his last 4 games. He's really heating up, and hopefully he can get on a bit of a roll here as well. And then the Sens would keep the goalie pulled for the center ice faceoff with 17 seconds to go. And I was worried Austin Matthews was going to hit the empty net to make it 4 goals again against the Sens, just like on opening night. Fortunately, that didn't happen, but unfortunately, the Sens could not get the game tied, most importantly. And they fall 6-5, and they lose. The Leafs get a game-winning goal with the empty net. So their game winner was an empty netter by Zach Hyman, and that's really too bad. That's kind of a cheesy way to win, in my opinion. And I guess a moral victory for Ottawa. They played somewhat well against Toronto. The Leafs had some pretty good shifts. The Leafs are a really high-powered team, I want to say that. I mean, they had some really good shifts in Ottawa's zone. I know I was kind of making jokes about, you know, when Marner's celebrating, yeah, my team's so overrated and stuff. I mean, maybe they are a little bit overhyped just because it is Toronto, but the Leafs are going to be a handful and then some for anyone they play in the playoffs this year. I just want to say this, the Josh Norris, Brady Tkachuk, and Nick Paul line absolutely got smoked by the Austin Matthews line. And, you know, they were dominated. I thought the other 3 lines from both teams kind of played it pretty even. I thought maybe slight edge to the Sens for the other 3 lines. I thought the Sens' most dangerous line was the Amadio, Batherson, and Stützle group. Amadio picks up his first assist too, I want to say, or his first point in general. as an Ottawa Senator, but I thought that was the best line. That line looked pretty good together. They had a lot of chances. They could have had probably a couple more goals also out there. Jack Campbell was really good for Toronto despite giving up the 5 goals. I thought Forsberg was pretty solid for Ottawa despite giving up 5 goals as well. And that Tkachuk group, though, they were -4. They really got taken to task by the Matthews group, and that really is what won the game for Toronto, was the Matthews line just dominating our supposed top line. I just want to say this, Josh Norris, I mean, poor guy, he's got so many crazy tough assignments night in and night out in this division, so many good centermen. I mean, you got Matthews, Tavares in Toronto, Scheifele in Winnipeg, McDavid and Draisaitl in Edmonton. Like, there's a lot of really darn good centers, and Josh Norris, especially after Derek Stepan went out, he's really taken on a huge role, playing #1 center every single night. Yeah, he didn't have a great night, obviously, last night, him or his line mates. They were all -4, unfortunately, but, he did chip in with a power play goal of his own, and, there are going to be nights like that for Norris and his line mates when you're playing against some of the best players in the world. So those are my thoughts on this game. Please let me know what all of you think in the comment section below. About the whole cable thing and me not being able to upload, I just want to get back to that a little bit. My cable was kind of clicking in, on and off, and I was able to watch the game. It was pretty good yesterday, but then just, I was watching some of the doubleheader between Calgary and Edmonton, and then about midway through the first period there, it clicked out again. Like I said, fortunately it's fixed now, so I can upload videos no problem, and we don't have to have any more hassles with that, because it was very frustrating. I was wondering why my video or for the Edmonton game was not uploading, and then we find out, our cable's not really connecting there, our Wi-Fi or whatever. I'm not really technically versed, but okay. So let me know all that and more about the game in the comment section below. Not about my cable situation, about the game in the comment section below. Please let me know all that and more. Like and subscribe and share this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.